Coming up on Small Town Big Deal. For a time, it was known as America's love boat.
People come in and say, well, you know, we took our honeymoon in this boat.
But then came a tipping point.
This was a fading industry.
Today, a tell-all tale of
this thing could talk.
Yeah.
the wooden canoe.
Then later, we traveled south to Mississippi, where an amazing group of high school students are helping change the lives of autistic kids.
I love you.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal.
We've traveled across the country and firmly believe that the people in small towns are the hands that keep America strong.
So join us, Rodney Miller,
And Jan Carl,
as we show you the great things these people do on Small Town Big Deal.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl. Okay, Rodney, I want to know, how much canoeing have you done in your life?
Well, I've done a fair amount on various rivers around the country.
In a wooden canoe?
No, never in a wooden canoe.
Never?
Never.
well, Rodney, that's got to change.
Jan, this place looks amazing.
This is the Piscataqua River in central Maine. It's just a few miles from the town of Atkinson, or about 30 miles northwest of Bangor. Atkinson has a population of about 300, and should the names Rollin, Thurlow, or Jerry Stelmok ring a bell, well, then you're either a longtime resident or there's something else that floats your boat.
What these guys have done is really nothing short of amazing.
Rollin Thurlow and Jerry Stelmok were motivated by a passion that dips deep into the American spirit.
You know, I'm never tired of going to work, really.
It's that desire to make a living by realizing a dream.
I finally did start making money. That was nice.
If you like to traverse America's waterways, specifically in a wooden canoe, then you might call them the wooden canoe gurus.
And because of them, the small town of Atkinson might as well be the wooden canoe capital of America. Rollin works on one end of town and Jerry works on the other.
Okay, let's split up. Who do you want?
I think Jan and Jerry has a nice ring to it.
Okay, then Rodney and Rollin sounds pretty good.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
All right, see
okay.
ya.
Rollin handcrafts canoes, but much of his business is repair work. Today he's fixing a 100-year-old canoe.
Wow, Rollin, this is nice. You have got a woodworker's paradise here. I would have to say you got the whole shooting match.
Well, it's collected over the years. It didn't quite start out like this, but...
This is really a unique business. How did you get in it?
Oh, I wanted to work with my hands, and I found this wooden boat building school in Maine, and
Who knew?
who knew? And so I went to the school, and Jerry Stelmok was there, and we were both interested in canoes, and pretty soon we had a canoe building business.
You must be Jerry. So I walk into Jerry's workshop and I just go, wow, these are beautiful.
Really? Well, thank you.
Jerry does some repair work, but much of his business is handcrafting wooden canoes. And his craftsmanship, well, it speaks for itself.
It's a piece of artwork in a way. You know, it's craft more than it is art, but it's very visual, very aesthetic.
This is really artisan craftsman type work.
It's a very small niche market, so they're custom built for each individual customer, so each one's a little bit different.
But there was a time over a century ago when tens of thousands of wooden canoes were produced annually during what was known as America's canoe craze.
There were a lot of canoes on the Charles River in the late 19th, early 20th century. Right in Boston, there was huge canoe clubs, liveries, courting was done on the river.
At the height of its popularity, the wooden canoe was considered America's love boat.
So I wonder, was there a marriage proposal on this boat? How many romantic dinners were out on this boat, or lunches, or picnics, or?
You know, people come in and say, well, you know, we took our honeymoon in this boat, or my grandparents took their honeymoon or bought it.
And some of the canoes had great big decks on them, and that made the cockpit more closer.
Oh, where do the chaperones sit?
The chaperones were left ashore. That was what was so great about it.
Score, yeah.
This thing could talk.
Yeah.
But the canoe craze passed, and demand for wooden canoes all but dried up once cheaper materials like vinyl and aluminum were developed.
It wasn't feasible for large companies to mass produce them anymore, so they went to guys like Rollin and Jerry to meet a dwindling demand.
This was a really fading industry when we got into it about 1975. But we really believed in these things. We loved them, and we couldn't believe that other people wouldn't as well.
The problem was that few people knew anything about making wooden canoes. And those who did, well, they kept it as quiet as the Piscatacus on an early summer morning.
They had their secrets and they weren't going to depart with much of it.
This is called a stem.
Okay.
One in each end of the canoe.
But Jerry and Rollin's passion ran so deep,
Birch bark canoes had real...
they had to change that.
You know, Jerry and Rollin really wrote the book on canoes. Literally.
And while the wood and canvas canoe never topped the New York Times bestseller list, it did stir up enough interest that they brought this craft form back from the brink.
Enough like-minded individuals who had read the book seemingly crawled out of the woodwork, wanting to learn what they could about making canoes. There was enough demand that Rollin started making how-to videos.
Hello, I'm Rollin Thurlow, owner of the Northwoods Canoe Company.
Soon, both began offering canoe-making classes.
The key to this type of canoe construction is building the canoe over a very strong and stable form.
These upside-down-looking canoes are called forms and are all over their shops. Wood is cut and bent over them to make part of a canoe.
To bend wood, you need some steam.
This is a beer keg, and we just pour water in there. Steam comes up through the pipe and right into this wooden box.
So these steam.
This is white cedar.
So if I stand over there.
Get a facial.
Yeah, a little beauty treatment. Okay.
Well, it hasn't helped me, has it?
Of course, the steam is the same steam that you use to cook your lobster with, too. So that's,
Okay.
Ooh, is it hot? It's hot.
It's not so hot that it's going to burn you.
And now we're going to be put to work.
Sure. So this is the 1913 B.N. Morris canoe. It's had a hard life, so we've replaced the rails here.
Grab the end and start stretching it down. This one's going to be perfect.
So we have to drill through the top of the rib.
Am I supposed to be following that metal part?
Follow the metal band.
Rollin, about how long does it take you to redo a boat like this?
Might be a 9-month process.
You're doing just fine.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Jerry, you're saying I'm doing just fine and you can't see a thing that I'm doing.
Well, I'd have heard if you weren't.
Okay.
Is that okay?
You're hired.
That's amazing how that bent.
When you order one of their canoes, you'd better be patient.
Well, the waiting time can be anywhere from a year or more. You know, we've had waiting lists for 2 years.
But we can see why it's worth the wait.
This is so beautiful, so peaceful. For a type A personality like me, I really should do more of this.
So what do you like better, building them or being in them?
Oh, being in them, you know.
Oh, I love this glass river. It's beautiful, it's peaceful, the water is clear.
These are all wooden canoes, and isn't all the wood from the trees around here?
I mean, it's just a wonderful connection. You know, it's made of the materials of the forest, and you're going through the forest.
You got the wooden canoe, it's in the water where it's naturally supposed to be. You can almost feel like an early American explorer, you know, just in your imagination.